enduring hardships, the tears of pain I shed today will be the tears of joy I shed tomorrow. I'm Coach mjdtiger, certified life coach and mentor, and we are on this journey together to find peace, passion, and purpose by enduring hardships and not getting knocked down and staying there, but to rise and to be more than we were the moment before and to grow in the next moment. And we can do that by focusing on our self-love, self-respect, self-control, and to bravely and boldly embrace who we are unconditionally. And if no one has told you this today, I love you. You deserve to hear that. Salute to you all. The brave never fall. Learn, laugh, and level up. How are you feeling? How are you feeling in your mind? How are you feeling in your body? How are you feeling in your heart? How are you feeling in your soul? Taking a moment each day to think in silence and to address each of these areas is a daily healthy practice that will lead you to your passion and your purpose and to balance you out every single day. When we ask ourselves through mind, body, heart, and soul how we are feeling, we get the answers we need and we know we need to focus on. How are you feeling? Trust yourself. Trust that you have it within you to get through the next moment. Trust that whatever is beyond your control, whatever is beyond the reach and the scale of where your mind, your body, your heart, and your soul can endure in this moment, trust that what's beyond you doesn't matter. What's behind you doesn't matter. What matters is this moment. Trust that you are strong enough to endure the next moment, the next obstacle, the next test, the next mountain, the next volcano. Trust yourself that you are making the right decisions and that you will stand tall and bravely and boldly endure the consequences of those decisions. Trust yourself that you are more than what your limited beliefs are telling you. Trust yourself that you are capable of being in a loving, healthy, non-toxic relationship. Trust yourself that you are everything you know you were born to be. Trust yourself that you will go further than you ever imagined through discipline, self-love, and self-control. You are here now. Trust yourself. Wheat Horizons, Episode 4, Reflections on Your Impact in Life. Simply put, what impact do we have on others around us? And let's really get into this in a no BS type of way. We're not talking about surface level impacts where we are impacting people because we're forced to interact with these people, to interact with people we have obligations for. That's a form of impact. Like, we impact our children every single day. We impact our family members and our friends, our close people around us. I challenge you to expand your horizons, so to speak, on this topic. Reflections on your impact in life. And the reason why I am challenging you to expand your horizons when it comes to this is that we have a safety blanket when it comes to having an impact with people we have obligations to have impacts for, because a lot of times those impacts are not what they seem to be, because we have impacts on people who are going to love us unconditionally. So we treat them differently. We say things to family members, friends, spouses, boyfriend, girlfriend, co-workers that we really don't care too much about, acquaintances, because we are forced to see them every day. The impact is minimum because you are forced to see these people every day. Now, you may be helping them. You may be giving someone a ride to work, or you may be giving a coworker a ride home. You may be interacting with your spouse in a way where there's a give and take. You know, you're going to make some dinner and they're out in the yard. And there's all these things where you're impacting each other, but it's almost like a spider web. It's all connected. If a piece of the spider web breaks apart, then that web falls apart and all the spiders go falling down. And then you got to rebuild it all over again. I'm talking about bigger impacts. Impacting people in a way where a complete stranger will never forget you and you've only met them for 5 minutes. I challenge you to think in that sort of sense. A true impact in life. Leaving behind something that is a legacy to a generation that you'll never, ever interact with. Being a positive, truly real, genuine, positive person and impact on people who look up to you, who you are obligated to educate. Now, we can say, well, I thought you said no children. Are we obligated to educate our children? We have help with that because they have teachers, they have mentors, they have pastors, they have aunts and uncles and grandmas. It takes a village, right? But what about the obligation for you to have an impact in this world in a sense of it's aligned with your purpose type of impact? And that's why I say expand your mindset on this, because it's real easy to fall into the trap that we have more impact in life than we actually do, because we are impacting those around us and we're saying that's good enough. And in a lot of cases, it is good enough. But here's the true test. And this is hard for some people to hear. Are you truly impacting anybody outside of your little circle where you feel comfortable making some contributions to their lives out of obligation? It's a far different case to have someone walking around saying, this person helped me change my life. This person is inspirational. Now let's focus on that word for just a moment, because that's essentially what an impact is. When you have impact in someone's life, that means you inspire them. And how do we inspire someone? We have to lead by example. We can't inspire anyone if we're not practicing what we preach, if we're not walking the talk. It's so simple and easy to say words. And I challenge you to think about whenever you said words and didn't back it up and how it made you feel. Now, if it made you feel that way, you can only imagine what it can make someone else feel like if they see you talk and not walk, to see you preach but not practice. That's not very inspiring. In fact, that's demoralizing. That's what an impact in life is. You inspire people. You go out of your way, running on fumes if you have to make sure whoever's looking up to you is always going to see the best version of you. That leads us to another word that begins with an I: integrity. And we've talked about integrity before in previous podcasts on the Brave Never Fall. It's a big, huge part of it because integrity is aligned with discipline. You have to have discipline regardless if anyone's watching you or not. And that's what integrity is. That means you're doing the walk. You're walking it without talking, because when you're by yourself, unless you're talking to yourself, you're just walking it. You're not preaching it. You're practicing and you're walking it. That's integrity. No one's watching you. It's just you. You don't have to do what you're doing. It has a carryover effect. That's how you build discipline. You do it when no one's watching. And no one's not going to, in most cases, no one's going to even know that you did it unless you go on Facebook and say, guess where I'm at right now. I have a little thing that I do where when it comes to, especially with social media, if I go for a run, I typically wouldn't tell anybody that I'm going for a run. I would think most people, if I call myself a runner, most people, I'm going through a wave right now where I can't fit it in, and that's part of running. Sometimes we can get it in, sometimes we can't. I'm going through a wave in this particular point in time in my life where finding time to run has been a bit of a challenge, but hey, that's part of, again, that integrity part. I have to find a way to get it in. And if I can't run, then I'm going to do something else. I have a little machine that I stand on and I'll just walk on it. It's not running, but my legs are moving. And that's better than nothing. It's things like that that lead over into discipline, and that discipline leads to integrity, and that integrity leads to inspiration, because people will notice. I don't have to broadcast it. I don't have to talk about it. I just have to practice it and walk it. People will be able to understand and see the results. I don't have to tell people I'm a runner. They can look at me and say, he's athletic. That's good enough. I don't have to explain what sport I'm doing. It doesn't matter. What matters is at 42 years old, as of this podcast, at 42 years old, I feel like I'm 32, maybe in my late 20s. And I want to feel that way. Again, I talked about in a previous podcast that I've given up something in my life that has made me feel a lot younger in a short amount of time. And it's just one thing. It's the focus on impact. I want to have a bigger impact. And in order to do that, as the great Bruce Lee says, I had to hack away at the unessential. And it was something material in my life, a vice that I got rid of, that I jettisoned. And I have already felt the benefits from jettisoning this thing. And it's things like that that had me thinking, that is what true impact is, because now my son and people who are very similar to me that I talk to, who are going through the same thing, can look at me and say, what's different about this person? I'm not broadcasting it. I haven't put it on social media. I haven't even told anybody what it is. Nobody knows what it is but me. But I already have reaped the benefits of it, because it has led me to, oh, I can run at this time now because I got rid of this. Oh, this person has entered my life now because I have time to go and do that. Oh, this is happening and this is happening, all because I got rid of one thing. Because I wanted to make a bigger impact, and especially for my son. And that goes to, again, leaving something behind. Forget a lifetime. What if we think about it like this? What if you every single day left something behind that somebody else would benefit from every single day? Now think about that. Now it could be different for everyone else around you, besides you. You might have your thing, but everyone else around you is going to have their thing of every single day. What is something you can do every single day that at the end of the day, you left something behind that day that will impact future days and people that you may or may not even know. And you may say, what are you talking about? There's a lot of things you can do. In fact, I was driving the other day, and I pulled up to the side of the road, and there was a guy who was homeless out there. It's burning up outside. I'm dead tired. He's standing out there with a sign that says, I'm hurting. And I just kept staring at that sign, I'm hurting. And I'm like, I wish I had some money to... And I thought about it. You know, I've had a wad of ones in my bag that I think I completely forgot about. Let me see if they're in there. And there they were. No one else gave me anything. Not that it's a competition, but I'm like, every day I try to do something like that. I'm like, this is my moment. This is my moment to make an impact on somebody. And I gave it to him, and he blessed me and said, God bless you. I said, hey, bless you. Be safe. Stay cool. I don't want to see you out again. Hopefully it's the last time I see you. And I can tell the look on his face when genuine gratitude. He couldn't thank me enough. I mean, I almost had to drag him away from the car. So because I had to pull off. And those are the moments that every single day I try to do that. If I can't do it that way, then I'll try to help somebody who has a question that I've been a little slow to get back to. Or I'll make a post that is going to have an impact on somebody's life. Or these podcasts. These in general are me leaving something behind every single day that's going to impact someone's life. And it most likely, because most of all these podcasts are made for my son, so he can go back and listen to these podcasts. And that's my impact in life, is that I'm not only leaving it for him, but I'm leaving it for people that could use some encouragement, can use some motivation, some inspiration. And that's what life is all about, is trying to find where is all the inspiration I can pull in. And how can I pull in as much as I possibly can each and every day? And it doesn't have to be from the same source. It can be from multiple different sources, multiple different platforms, multiple different ways of finding some kind of inspiration that feels impactful, because that's what makes us feel good in the human spirit. It's not about always going on and just buying things to make ourselves feel good or eating comfort food. It's about finding something that sticks, that really does make you better. And if you find that, you have an obligation to give that in return. And that is kind of the way I do it. It's almost a revolving door. I am constantly finding inspiration, and then I want to inspire. And the reflections part of it comes into asking yourself the questions. What questions can you ask yourself that will find you a pathway to inspiration and for you to inspire? What are you being impacted by that will in return get you to impact someone else? And that is a true beautiful thing you can do every single day that costs you absolutely nothing. Because a lot of it comes down to, do you even want to be impactful? Do you even want to be inspired? Do you want to inspire? Do you want to be a person who is just taking in the inspiration but never giving it out? You want to be impacted, but you don't want to impact. It's perfectly fine. Everybody's different. But I would say, being an inspiration, some of the best people I know right now inspire me. They inspire me fully. Some of the best people that that you can't even put into words how valuable they are. They inspire other people. They know how to take in the inspiration, and they know how to turn it around and give it back. And it's just a revolving door. And I've learned that over the last few weeks. It is something that you can grab onto, and it really does make you feel better to know that there are people around you that will genuinely inspire you, to make you do things you're like, how the hell did that even happen? But that is where you have to get to. The only way you can get to that is that you have to be able to receive, but not just hold on to what you received. You have to be willing to say, now I got to pay this forward. I can't just keep taking and taking and taking. That's selfish. I have to be able to give something back. I want people to look at me and say, you inspire me. And I can say, you inspire me as well. And they don't these things don't have to be big. Again, I gave a guy a few dollars on the side of the road. You can just tell in his face that I made his day. He honestly didn't even look like someone who was homeless. Like I was. That's why I was staring at the sign for so long. And I just kept reading it. I'm hurting. That's where empathy comes in. And I can instantly put myself in his shoes and say, if it was me, I'd want that guy to at least check to see if he has those dollars in his bag. Who knows? They may be in there. And that's exactly what I did. I'm like, it ain't going to hurt me to look. I don't think that they're in there. Oh, it was in there. It's been in there for months. Meant for that guy the entire time. That's inspiring. Moments like that give me hope. That no matter what happens to me, no matter what happens to you, no matter what happens to the people around us, little things like that remind me that each day are full of those moments if we care to look for them and interact with them and embrace them fully and actually do something about it. Not just keep talking about how good we are as people. Talk is cheap. It's a thrift store. You have to actually do something about it. Talking about how good you are without showing anything is not inspiring at all. In fact, it's the exact opposite of it. It just comes off so selfish and manipulative that it just looks like you're trying to gain from others. You're sucking the life out of other people, but not willing to give any of yourself in return. You're just hoarding all of the inspiration you're getting from everyone else. And I don't think that's the way to live. I think true impact is when you get something, you give. If you feel inspired by something that day, damn it, you need to be inspiring somebody else. And inspiration doesn't always mean that you're going to motivate somebody to do something great. You inspire somebody with hope that there are good people out there. The people that actually have empathy and that they care. It can be as simple as you giving someone a compliment. I do it every day, all the time. If I see something, if I see somebody with a shirt that I think is nice, and I do it all the time, I will say, hey, I really like that shirt. They just look shocked. Oh, they don't even know what shirt they have on. They have to look down. Oh, thank you. And you just see the mood shift. And I said, you're very welcome. Have a nice day. Be safe. They're going to think about you more than once that day. And it softens them up. No, not everyone's going to respond like that. Some people might say, hey, man, get out of my face. But guess what? Their reaction isn't my problem. I'm still trying to put out my positive energy. And no one's saying you have to walk around acting like a circus clown trying to make everybody feel great. That's not what this is about. It's about being aware in moments where it's appropriate for you to do these things. And it's not about trying to get something out of it. It's about you've been disciplined. Like when I say something about somebody's shirt, or give somebody a compliment about their vehicle, or tell them good job at work, I'm not doing it because I want something in return. I'm just in that mode. I want people to feel good when they deserve to feel good. If somebody has done something special, I'm going to tell them that. If somebody's messed up, I'm going to tell them that too. It's called being direct and assertive. It doesn't necessarily mean that I have a problem with them. It just means I think you need to know this. And I expect when I need to know in return, you can tell me. And guess what? I'm not going to hold a grudge against you because I can take constructive criticism as long as you're able to take constructive criticism. And that's what having an impact is all about. Trust. You can trust yourself that you can interact with anyone at any time about anything. And as long as that person is respecting what you have to say, you're going to inspire each other. without even realizing it. And that's the company I would like to keep going forward. Those are the people that you learn from without even trying to learn. You get emotionally attached to without even forcing it. That is where you get the impact from. Someone impacts you by being a genuine person who wants the best for themselves, and they're working on it. And they can trust you are working on yourself, and you're going to impact each other without even realizing it. That's the human condition. That's what we were here to do, is impact each other, help each other. It sounds corny, but it's just sounds. In actual practice, it feels quite different. It feels right, it feels natural, and it feels like something that you can build upon. Because it's very hard to build upon negativity unless you are trying to self-destruct yourself. So we have to go back and revisit this again. If you look at yourself in the mirror, you look at your reflection in the mirror, and you ask yourself, what impact do I have in life? But most importantly, what impact do I have on the people around me and the people who I may see once and never see again? What am I doing? What impact do I really have? Am I really a leader? Am I somebody who's leading by example? Do my children look up to me? Do my family members respect me? Am I going back and forth about all these things in my life where I have to settle in and say, I know who I am. I can build upon this. And I don't have to apologize for it because it's me. It's my purpose, and I don't even have to explain it. Again, most of the things I do in my life, I don't even tell anybody about. I don't have to. I don't have to pretend to be something that I'm not. I don't have to act like I'm got more than what I have. I'm very content and comfortable with building upon what I have because I know my ceiling. I don't have one. I'm going to continue to grow because that is part of my purpose, and that's what being inspired is by people who do inspire people, having them around you. It makes you rise up. It elevates you. You have no choice but to rise up and succeed because you have people around you who are not going to fail, and they're not going to allow you to fail because they inspire you. And they want you around because you inspire them. You make them feel appreciated. You make them feel loved. You have an emotional connection that is greater than just surface level stuff. No offense to anyone out there, and I go through the same thing. A lot of our relationships with our family members and close friends and people we go to church with and people basically we see every single day, or coworkers, is very surface level when it comes to inspiration. We get into these weird habits where we expect certain family members to say something at a certain time. If you're not feeling well, you expect someone in your family to say, I hope you feel better. You don't expect that from a stranger. And a stranger doesn't expect you to say it to them. It means more because they don't have the obligation. You take away the obligation and the inspiration part means something completely different. We're supposed to encourage and inspire our family members and our friends and co-workers and churchgoers. We're supposed to do all that. Who are we impacting that aren't in those close circles? That's the question. Are we even capable of doing it? I say focus on that, and it actually strengthens your relationship with the ones that are closest to you. You will notice that your inspiration and your encouragement, your motivation to be around the people who are closest to you will rise up quite a bit if you're able to pull it off with people you barely meet. If every single day you're leaving something behind in this world that was hopeful instead of negative and manipulative and toxic by only caring about yourself. Self-love is not selfishness. Self-love is empathy. We all have it. The question is, what do we choose to do about it? Be impactful. And if no one has told you this today, I love you. You deserve to hear that. Salute to you all. The brave never fall. learn, laugh, and level up.